Welcome back, boys and girls. I'm here today to continue Jaden Kyle's cowboy training, and we are gonna be learning how to use a lasso, because every good cowboy or cowgirl needs to know exactly what they're doing here. So here we go. All right, when learning how to rope, there's two main things you need to know. The first is you want to make sure and get a nice little good sized loop, gives you a little more chance to catch something. And the second thing is it's all in the wrist. This ain't no baseball. You don't want to throw it. You just want to give it a nice little flick of the wrist.
All right, Kyle's throwing right now.
Well, he's not off to a great start.
I don't understand what you do at your wrist.
He needs to befriend the rope.
Like that?
Yeah.
That was easy. Oh, that was good.
Not bad, not bad. He did not smack himself that time,
There
so
you go.
off to a much better start.
Watch and learn.
He's cooked, chat. He's done. You know in math when you do the wrong equation, but you get the right answer somehow?
The wrong equation. Oh, I've got it down.
First look, her form was about 162% better than yours, but you got better, that's all that matters.
I'm ready to lasso some things. Come here, Janelle.
All right, we're here with our first roping target, Kyle. Let's put that practice to the test. Here we go. All right, it's a good start. Oh. Let's just ignore that first attempt. Kyle, I'm feeling confident. Here you go. Okay. All right, good form, good form. Release. All right, hey, that was not bad. Let's try again. Attempt 5. All right, he ain't got a lot of slack on his rope, but I think he can make up for it. Attempt number 13, here we go. All right, looking, oh. Attempt number 19, here we go. All right, it's a good start. Just can he finish right? So close. Hey, you know what? Keep your chin up, son. That was close. This next one, you got it. All right, Kyle, final attempt, here we go.
Oh.
Hey, you know what?
So close.
That's all right. Bonus points for your first time hitting the target. We're gonna go ahead and move on to Jaden and see how she does, all right?
All right.
All right. All right, Jaden, here we go. Your first attempt. Let's see what you got.
Okay.
All right, she's off to a solid start. She's got some nice form going on. Let's see her release. All right. Hey, you know what? That was not too bad. You got real close on your first attempt. All right, attempt number 2. Here we go.
Come on.
And you know what? I think we might just have to count that.
Yeah!
All right, for this next challenge, you guys are gonna try and rope this cactus right here. Here you go.
Oh.
All right, Kyle, first attempt. Here you go. Oh, wow. Is cooked hotter than a red-belly rattlesnake on a hot Texas evening.
What?
Tip number 2, it's all you, Kyle. Kyle, last attempt. I believe in you. Oh, whoa, careful.
Yeah!
Whoa, that cactus.
Way to go.
Jaden, it's your turn. We're ready for your first attempt. Give it a throw.
All right.
Oh. Hey, you know what? Not a bad throw. She had good form. You gotta let go of that rope with your right hand. All right, Jaden, attempt number 2. Give it your best shot.
Oh, I did let go again. All right, here we go.
Got a lot closer there. And that was her final attempt, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like...
Wait, just cut this out. Ready? Cut this part. Don't use this part.
Please use this entire part.
No. All right, and then cut back in here. Just make
She got it, ladies and gentlemen. Jaden is on the board. Well, cut. We cannot use that. That is not premised allowed on this legal property. All right, for this next challenge, I went out to the ranch and got me a little bit of help. Hey, get back here.
been there, you should have seen Mo and all of God's people dancing out of Egypt. You know, they were partying, marching on out of there like they were going to a Saturday night barn dance.
Well, howdy there, cowboys, cowgirls. Well, what you doing there, Tex? You starting to campfire tales without me?
Well, I'm sorry, Roscoe. I was just telling them how our story ended, you know, with Mo leading all those people out of Egypt and those barn dances that they had.
Well, Tex, I tell you, that's mighty kind of you, but you're forgetting just one little thing, and that's how the story ended.
What, you mean this story doesn't have a big finale with them all dancing on barn dance?
Not exactly. It might have ended like that, but then the old sheriff, he changed his mind.
You have got to be kidding me. He did what?
Tell you what, lean on in around the fire and I'll tell you how it ended. Mo was one of God's special people, the Israelites. And them Israelites, they'd been in big trouble. They's living in a place where this big old Maine sheriff didn't take too kindly to them, and he was making them all work for free. But God, he spoke to Cowboy Mo. He picked him to rescue him. He gave Mo a special walking stick. Mo, he marched right back in. He told that sheriff to let God's people go. But the sheriff was stubborn as all get out, and he wouldn't do it. Not until God had sent all them powerful plagues that were so bad, he finally said yes. And so they headed out to the promised land. There's a whistling and singing, "Oh, Susanna."
And they all lived happily ever after.
Yeah. Well, actually, that right there is when that nasty old sheriff changed his mind.
You have got to be kidding me. Why would he do that?
Well, sheriff and the guys, they'd seen them Israelites all partying, leaving town for the promised land. And then they got to thinking, maybe that weren't such a good idea after all. Letting them go? I mean, who was gonna work in the fields and dig for the gold?
So what happened next? Surely that sheriff could have catch him with the head start they had.
Well, I tell you, here's where it got crazy, because the sheriff, he done had the fastest stallions in all the land. He hicked them up to the wagons, and they headed off after him.
Oh no! Mo! Israelites! Run! Run! Watch out! Wait! Look out! Ah! Watch out!
Well, you can imagine them Israelites were scared. I mean, here they were marching along, and suddenly the dust was sailing through the sky from all them horses chasing after them.
Oh, I'm guessing them Israelites boys were ready to put up a fight. Hillbilly ninjas, attack!
Well, that's just the thing, Tex. They didn't have to. Because you remember who was on the side of the Israelites? God was.
So how was God fighting for them? Oh, I got it. God sent a big old tornado to suck them all up. All the sheriffs and the deputies, they'll ride up. I knew there'd be a tornado in the story.
Well, I tell you, Tex, you ain't that far off. It weren't no tornado, but it was a pillar of cloud by the daytime and a pillar of fire by night. It was leading the people, and actually, God sent that pillar to the back to protect the people.
You know, Roscoe, I've heard it both ways. Pillar of fire, tornado. Problem solved.
Well, not exactly. Even a bigger problem now. They were up against a giant sea. The Red Sea, as a matter of fact. They were trapped like prayer mice. The sea in front of them, and the bad guys are chasing them behind.
Well, oh boy, I got a bird in my saddle and turkey buzzards in my belly. What happened next?
Well, y'all remember that stick that Mo had? He held it up over the water because God told him to, and wouldn't you believe, something amazing happened.
A giant crawdaddy came out of the sea and attacked that sheriff with his pincers. Beep, beep.
No, sirree. The Israelites were able to walk right across the ocean on dry ground with the water all piled up on the sides. It was a miracle.
Well, Roscoe, there's a problem. Them sheriff and all them boys just falling right across that sea too.
Well, the Israelites, they did make it across the sea. The sheriff and those guys, they weren't far behind. But God told Mo to stretch out that stick again, and wouldn't you know it, the water all fell right on top of them, and they all drowned.
Well, then all the Israelites are saved. Yeah! Oh, it's barn dancing time.
Yeah, I'm sure there was. But you know what? The greatest thing they were celebrating is I bet they were remembering that God will fight for them.
Well, Roscoe, that is a good big idea. God will fight for you. And you know what? I think that's a great way to wrap up our story.
Well, it is, but guess what? We got just one more thing. It gets even more exciting. It's gonna be so good. So you know what? Let's stoke the fire and hunker down for the last part of Cowboy Mo.
What's up, friends? I was just sitting here watching one of the greatest fights ever, and it got me thinking, what if I tried it? Wow, maybe that's something I shouldn't try anymore. But that does remind me of our Bible story that we heard about today. God picked Moses to lead the Israelites, who were God's chosen people, out of slavery in Egypt into a better life. But when the Israelites were stuck between the Red Sea and the Egyptian army, Moses said something to them that would change their lives forever. Exodus 14:13 through 14 says, "But Moses told the people, 'Don't be afraid. Just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you today. The Egyptians you see today will never be seen again. The Lord himself will fight for you. Just stay calm.'" How cool is that? Moses promised that God would fight for them, and sure enough, he did. He parted the Red Sea. The Israelites crossed through on dry ground, and they never saw the Egyptian army again. I'm sure Moses and the Israelites were terrified in that moment. The truth is, the Israelites were not strong enough to fight the Egyptian army. They had no weapons, no armor, and they probably didn't even know how to fight. On their own, the Israelites were not strong enough. So Moses had to remind them that they were not alone, but that God would fight for them. In the same way that God fought for Moses and the Israelites, God wants to fight for you too. God never wanted you to do life by yourself. He wants to be right there with you every step of the way to help you with anything you need. Sometimes we face things in life that seem like a big fight, where if we tried to fight on our own, we would never win. But God wants you to know that you never have to fight by yourself with your own strength. Instead, he wants you to always remember that he will fight for you. Maybe there's someone that's bullying you and your friends. God will fight for you. Maybe you're sick or someone you love is sick and not feeling well. God will fight for you. Maybe you need peace in your family. And you know what? God will fight for you. Whatever your problem may be, God will fight for you. A great verse that reminds me not to worry about anything is Philippians 4:6. And it says, "Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all he has done." What this verse is saying is that rather than worry about our problems, we should just talk to God about them. God wants to know every detail of your life, big or small. And you know what? The more you talk to God about your worries, the smaller they'll become. Think about something that's been worrying you, or maybe a problem that you've been facing. Whether it's big or small, God wants to hear all about it. So what I want you to do is write it down on a piece of paper and put it somewhere where you'll see it every day, so you can look at it, talk to God about it every time you see it, and watch how the problem is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Whatever you face, know that you never have to be worried or scared, because God will fight for you. See you next time. You guys are gonna try and lasso this cow right here, and it's gonna look a little something like this. Eat on it. All right, Kyle, you're up next. Here we go. Oh! Oh! That is a clean catch, ladies and gentlemen. Way to go, sir. All right, Jaden, let's see what you got.
Hey. Oh, come on. Oh, man.
All right, attempt number 2, here we go. Oh,
man.
Close. You know what? She hit that right horn, but she didn't quite make it around to the left one. Final attempt. Jaden, when you're ready.
Come on, you got it, you got it, you got it.
Oh, she looked like she was going in just to give that cow a good thump on the head rather than rope it. So you know what? That one is going to Kyle. Way to go, Kyle. All right, boys and girls, we had a great showing out here today. Jaden mostly caught the cone, and Kyle caught the cow, and he actually caught the cactus, which means he is our grand roping champion for the day. Way to go, Kyle. Yeah! All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.